Now, switching over to crypto now, as a recent survey from the Fed showed that there are a good amount of people who buy and sell crypto but don't even have a bank account. For more on this, let's welcome in Yahoo Finance's David Hollerith. This surprises me, but I guess if I think about it, maybe not. So you got the unbanked, but not the uncryptoed, apparently.
Yeah, Jared, from the survey, about 40 million Americans, or 12% of the American population, used cryptocurrency in 2021. And most of those respondents said that they were primarily using it for investment purposes, meaning not as a currency. The survey polled 11,000 U.S. adults from October to November 2021. So this was when the cryptocurrency market was essentially at its peak. And during that time, respondents said that they essentially that 11% of the 12% of respondents used it for investments. So again, not necessarily as a currency. Then just 2% admitted that they used it as a currency, which means that they used it for financial transactions, which constitutes something like using it to make a purchase or make a payment on a loan or something like that. Now, within the group, 99% said that they owned a bank account, which does sort of run contrary to one of the themes in cryptocurrency, which is that it can increase financial inclusion and also bank the unbanked per se. Also, something worth pointing out is that 46% of respondents who said that they own cryptocurrency admitted to being of high income earners, which means they made more than $100,000. 29% said that they had an income under $50,000. So they would be what would be considered on the lower tier of earners.
Dave, there have been other surveys that have come out mostly with numbers that are higher than this, right? So I'm just curious, how do we explain the discrepancies and why is it so hard to measure this? I guess because we're asking people themselves and people don't always report accurately.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, Julie. I mean, it is tough to have much insight into what's going on with each survey. I get tons of surveys from cryptocurrency companies who are using something like a third party to measure sort of adoption. And sort of the messages are usually similar, but the actual percentage numbers are different. For example, a Gemini survey that was published in April had a 20% crypto use in the U.S. statistic, and that's obviously 5%. That's obviously 7% higher than what we're seeing here. I think one thing to highlight, though, about this survey is that it is important that the Federal Reserve is sort of taking enough interest and notice to finally include it into its SHED economic surveys. And, it is always nice to have a group of people who are not necessarily incentivized to sort of find survey results. I think if we assume that everyone who conducts a survey about cryptocurrency is a benevolent person who's just trying to find the right results, it also probably has a lot to do with the methodologies, and the Federal Reserve could be taking a very different swath of people. But again, 11,000 U.S. adults. So, I think we have to sort of look at this with, a lot of confidence.
Well, I'll tell you what, here's my prediction. QE6, when the Fed launches QE6, they're going to buy stable coins. It's coming, not QE5. That would be the next one. I'm talking about yours.
I almost spit out my water when you said QE6, Jared.
I guess I should say goodbye to David Hollerith as well.
Thanks,
but that was my thoughts. All right, coming.